Hello there, fun seekers. We left off where Slim had gone to town to pick up the supplies at the warehouse, and he was describing the dog food situation. Now, I ask you this: if the people on this outfit went out to eat at a restaurant, would they sit down in a big warehouse with sparrows swooping around overhead, order something that came out of a 50-pound sack? Oh no. But when it comes to their dogs, oh well, there's no sense in getting worked up over the injustice of the world. I went to the dog bowl, which was heaping high with yellowish kernels, gave it several sniffs. One sniff would have been enough to inform me that my dreams of little piggy sausage had vanished into thin air, gone forever like dewdrops on the morning spring. Isn't he poetic? Dewdrops of dew on the morning, oh phooey, the sausage was gone is the point. I loaded my mouth with dry, tasteless kernels and went straight into the crusher program. I've seen us eat school lunch, and we sometimes just go into the crusher program. When we're running the CP, the crusher program, there's a period of 15 to 30 seconds when we have to listen to all the noise in the crusher compartment. Now, ordinary dogs sometimes call it the mouth. Crack, snap, crunch. It's very loud. If you happen to have a headache, it makes you think that you have a jackhammer inside your head. Oh well, limestone rocks or tree bark might taste worse. Might even be harder to chew. I paused a moment to be thankful for Co-op brand semi-active dry dog food kernels. As I was grinding up my morning nourishment, oh, and speaking of nourishment, did you happen to notice that the cowboys buy the cheaper brand of dog food? Maybe you missed that. Semi-active is cheaper than active, and that's why they buy it. It has nothing to do with the schedules or the work routines of this security division. Semi-active is cheaper, period. Now, where were we? Oh yes, I was laboring to grind up and crush my morning. So forth, 3 adult males, 1 boy strolling out of the machine shed. I looked up from my work and recognized Slim, Looper, and Maurice, the adult males, and little Alfred, the boy. Did I care? No. I was busy grinding rocks of dog food and trying to forget that they weren't sausage links. Maurice said, "Well, thanks for the bolt. That saved me a trip back to town. Oh, and by the way, I'm going to be going to the poultry superintendent at the county fair this year. That boy ought to show some chickens. It's a good, wholesome project for these kids." Looper looked down at little Alfred. "What do you say, young'un? Would you like to show chickens at the fair?" Alfred nodded. "Sure. Maybe I could win a ribbon." Looper turned back to Maurice. "Sounds like you've started something." He gestured towards the hens pecking grasshoppers in front of the hen house. "Would those do?" Maurice rocked up and down on his toes and dug his hands into his pocket. "Not exactly. Your show chickens come from special stock, like show calves and sheep. They need to be raised from baby chicks." "Huh. Well, we got no baby chicks here, so..." Maurice beamed a smile. "I happen to know a lady who raises them. I talked to her this morning, and she's got 5 left. Betty." "Your wife?" "Yep. She says they're the best of the whole lot. She'll give 'em up for $5 a piece, and we deliver." $5? Maurice, you can buy a grown chicken at the grocery store for $5, and it's already cut up." Slim entered the conversation. "Yeah, or you could get 10 pounds of frozen turkey necks." Looper and Maurice stared at him. Well, I eat 'em all the time. They're good, and they're easy to fix, too. You just boil 'em in a big pot for 20 minutes. Do you like to eat turkey necks? They are good meat. It's a lot of work, though. Looper shook his head, and he turned back to Maurice. "Don't pay any attention to him. He's a bachelor. $5 for a baby chick is too much." Maurice pursed his lips like this and went into deep thought. Purse your lips. "Okay, then. 2.5 just for you, just for the sake of this boy, just 'cause I want him to win grand champion at the fair. Looper smiled. Sold. And you deliver? You bet we deliver him in a special cardboard box. Good. To the front door of my house? Looper's eyes shot up. We have to pick him up. Maurice? Looper, you'll have to buy chicken feed anyway. You can do it all in one trip to town. Well, we've got chicken feed. Maurice shook his head. Nope. You need a special show ration. You don't feed regular chicken feed to showbirds. Looper groaned. Ugh. A gleam came into Maurice's eyes. But you're in luck, 'cause I happen to be the local dealer for Cruncho feeds. Looper and Slim exchanged glances. Looper said, I never heard of Cruncho feeds. That's 'cause you buy the cheap stuff, Looper. Sorry to put it that way, but facts is facts. Maurice reached into the front pocket of his overalls, brought out something made of paper. Here, would you like to read a brochure on Cruncho feeds? No. Well, they're the best, and they're not cheap, but they are the best, and for that fine boy there, I know you'll want the best. Looper rubbed the back of his neck, scruffed the ground with his boot. All right, Maurice, we'll take 5 chicks and 1 sack of your hot rod chicken feed, and it all adds up. I'll write you a check. Well, 1 sack goes pretty fast, Looper. All right, 2 sacks. Figure it up. Maurice seemed deep in thought. Looper, I don't usually give out this information, but for the past 3 years, the grand champions in all classes have fed, pss, 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 and he whispered the information behind his hand, crushed Peruvian oyster shells. Looper sighed. Great, what is that? Well, poultry needs gravel. Gravel for the gizzard. Yeah, I know all that, Maurice. We got miles and miles of sand and rock and gravel here on the ranch. Maurice shrugged. Well, I guess it just depends on what a guy wants. If he wants his child to win a blue ribbon at the fair, he uses the very best gravel money can buy. If he don't care if an old, ugly yellow ribbon is good enough, we'll take 1 sack. Figure it up. Oh, they are getting run around, aren't they? Have you ever done 4-H? One of the funnest things I have ever seen in 4-H is when the Merklin girls did a demonstration on giving a chicken a bath. It was the best thing I had ever seen, and I laughed and I was amazed all at the same time. Have a wonderful, wonderful time, and we'll visit again on Monday. I'll be thinking of you. All right. Have a great time. Be a solid citizen. Love you. Bye-bye.